Hello again. Um, Johnny Herndon with my faithful sidekick.
Patrick Shields.
And we're going to talk on this particular go around about the training of the child. On that subject, Patrick's, who I will refer to as the bad cop, has a scripture for everybody.
We use a lot of Proverbs. Proverbs talks a lot about child training and being a parent. It was spoken from David to Solomon, and Solomon is credited as being the wisest man in the world, and that didn't just happen. He listened to his father David. Anyway, Proverbs 29:15 says, "A child left to himself will bring his mother to shame."
So we would train them and not leave them to themselves, which this particular principle of training, one more don't want to say this, but let's just say that an ounce of prevention is better than a pound of cure, or we don't want to correct a child's mistakes with the idea in mind. We just let them do whatever they're going to do, then we follow along behind and try to correct all of that, because training would imply that we're going to help them avoid mistakes. Sounds like a good idea.
Yeah. The idea of training is that you will intentionally show the child the right thing to do rather than let them do whatever and then keep pruning off their mistakes. That's the hard way to do it. The easy way is show them, demonstrate to them, instruct them what the right thing to do would be, and then they've at least got a really good starting point.
And from that, we can derive the opportunity for the child to submit and obey and practice the knowledge that he's acquired. Or, unfortunately, we set up the scenario where he may rebel and not do what you told him to do, which, of course, is where training takes on the next step, which we sort of touched on before, that punishment comes into play when there's direct rebellion against a commandment that you give at any given time, or for that matter, against training that's already been received.
And since what you're doing is intentionally training them to do the right thing, this isn't just arbitrary. You're not just doing whatever pops into your head. You have a plan of how you're going to help your child understand the right way to make himself in the world, make his way in the world, and to give him tools to where he knows how to make correct kinds of decisions, choices, to where he has the outcome that he wants, but really the outcome that will be right, that will lead to the outcome that he wants in his life.
So foolishness is bound up in the heart of a child, but the rod of correction will drive it far from him. The foolishness in this case can be described as the rebellion against a parent's command or a parent's training. So a lot of times, especially biblical or Christian child training takes a very bad rap because people are described basically as child abusers. You know, the popular thing that I think the school system promoted is never, 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 never hurt a child, which, you know, for arbitrary reasons, you never would hurt a child. But to train a child not to be foolish and hurt themselves, you would definitely give them controlled doses of pain so that they would learn not to be foolish.
The way I usually put it in a kind of humorous or snarky way is that stupid should hurt. And if a child hasn't learned that the consequences of decisions can be painful and ultimately deadly, you haven't helped them. They need to know that the wrong choices can have bad outcomes. And so a little bit of a spanking goes a long way to helping them understand that, instead of them having to later on in their life learn that a stupid mistake cost them dearly, dearly, dearly. You could have saved them from that if you'd trained them.
Then the positive side of trainings and experiences is when you're successful. So the reward of the righteous, in this case, or the kid that does the thing right, is that he gets to feel success, he gets to feel rewards or approval from his parents and others. And so, again, a lot of times we focus on the negative side. If the child disobeys, if the child rebels, and then, yeah, they probably need a good spanking. Having said that, when they do correctly, then they need to be praised and rewarded so that they can feel success along the way. And people really do like that. So typically when we're earning rewards, we kind of get motivated to go in that direction. So we're training the child to be intrinsically motivated to do the right thing because he enjoys a sense of peace and approval from his parents and others.
Amen.